Hello my friends, Takuya here, and welcome back to a Kaiser Redux A to Z playthrough, except we're gonna be doing something really weird because we're about to skip a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sorry. Yes, I know that in this mod in which Germany won World War I, that there is a lot of different things that we have not yet played, and we are in, I think, what was it? The D's that we were at? No. Oh yeah, it was. It was the Dominican Republic we did last time. That sucked. No, my friends, we're not going to be moving on to the next country in order. Instead, we're going to be going back to a country that we've technically already done. Mongolia. Why are we doing this, you may ask? Blatant self-promotion. Yeah. As I'm sure the majority of you are probably aware by now, I'm actually leading a trip to Mongolia here this next year. The trip has been confirmed. Enough people signed up that has actually happened. But if you want to LARP as Roman von Ergen Sternberg, also known as Genghis Khan II Electric Boogaloo, then you should join me. We are going to be hiking, kayaking, riding camels, and living out our steppe nomad dream. Now, if only I could unite the tribes. Then I could make Kaiser Redux China look like child's play. Anyway, yeah, link down in my description. If you want to sign up, definitely join us. I'm doing this now because at the rate that I'm doing these Kaiser Redux video, I won't get to Mongolia until I'm literally in Mongolia this next year. Now, my blatant self-promotion isn't the only reason that I wanted to do Mongolia. It's for another reason entirely. See, I did this video on Mongolia like a year and a half ago, before it is that they went and updated things for the officer corps, before they updated things for how stuff would work with proper heritage, and more importantly, how things would work for mobile warfare, which finally, things were added in the beginning of the game that give cavalry some additional stats. Prior to this, there wasn't really anything for doctrine. Really, the only thing that ended up happening was that in, what was it, our base technology, mounted infantry would get some bonuses, while it is that basic infantry and pretty much every other type of infantry would get additional bonuses. So what this essentially means is that the longer the game goes on, the worse cavalry become. This is something that is obvious. We're starting in the 1930s, and it goes into the 1940s, and this, as varying different nations mechanize, is going to reduce the viability of cavalry. But that's not the Mongol way. No, when you bring back Genghis Khan II Electric Boogaloo, Mongolian Khanate can get some absolutely insane cavalry bonuses. To the point that a horse is stronger than a tank. And now with this update, that is even more so. Let's dive in, my friends. First things first, get some basic research out of the way, check our civilian factories, which Mongolia, amazingly enough, actually has a light industry. Color me impressed. We're not exactly going to be able to do much with it here in the first place, you know, that's something, but at least we do actually have some military factories. Now, Mongolia from the very beginning of the game starts in a very interesting position, with the first focus being the Russians aren't watching. For those who are curious, the guy that is leading the country, Roman von Ergen Sternberg, yeah, the Mad Baron. This guy was a cavalry officer within the Tsarist forces of Russia that when the whole civil war broke out between the whites and the reds, he ended up fleeing over here into the east and then leading a detachment of Tsarist, monarchist cavalrymen. Like, there was a regiment that they specifically fought against the communists. In this case, he successfully gained control of Mongolia in 1921 after he moved into Urga with his Asiatic Cavalry Division and successfully forced out the Chinese after getting the blessing of Bogd Khan himself, the leader. From there, the Khan is pretty much nothing more than a puppet of the Mad Baron himself. Since then, Ergen has rolled as the official Baron under the 8th Jebstund with the Bogd Khan technically ruling as a monarch. However, reality has played out differently than his intended plan, and though the two are close, the Baron Ergen Sternberg has increasingly seized more of the power of the nation himself, pushing his old friend and suzerain more and more into the position of a glorified puppet. Yeah, this is something that is going to end up happening, and there are multiple options that we actually have as Sternberg. The basic idea of this is that his tree focuses specifically around trying to reclaim Russia from the Republic and the communists and pretty much anyone else. You can go and actually make friends with them and be kind of independent and do your own thing, or you can specifically go down here and try and take out Russia and save the empire. This is its own kind of fun little path that you can do. But there is a semi-secret path in which the Mad Baron actually becomes mad and believes that he is Genghis Khan. We did it before, and there is no path in this game that is quite as fun, in my opinion. First things first, the Russians aren't watching. The Russian nation is still recovering from the recent civil war, concerned about continuing German dominance in the Caucasus, and the breakaway state of Transmur in the Far East. This is the perfect time to assemble the war council and decide where Mongolia goes next. All these troops of basic infantry? No, we want cavalry. We are Mongols after all. Nothing else will be different. The Russians aren't watching. An awful event has occurred. President Kerensky, who was able to keep the Russian Republic from open rebellion for decades, has been killed. Oh no. During his presidency, we were able to broker many economic and military deals, allowing our extremely weak economy to grow. Although Kerensky did not allow the House of Romanov to rightfully retake the throne, he was still better than the Reds, and he allowed our relationship to grow strong. However, everything has all been brought to question. Any signs of stability that Kerensky brought to Russian politics was lost the moment the bullet struck his body. With many trying to fill the power vacuum Kerensky has left, it seems we have been forgotten. There are worrying signs that we might lose the Russian support that our nation has been dependent upon, which means we're gonna lose a lot of stuff here then. Yeah, I didn't cover this from the very beginning of the game, but we have a lot of different national spirits. Scourge of the Steppes, division speed plus 15%, recruitable population plus 5. This is all awesome. The claims of greatness of Genghis Khan. We get help from the Japanese and the Russians from the beginning. But of course, then simultaneously, we are not very politically stable, which that takes then reduces the 5% recruitable population by 4, so that's something. But we then have more immigration, which gives us even more. There's a lot of recruitable population that potentially we'll be able to get as time goes on. A second in command for Ergin Khan. Today, newspapers of the world have been filled with news of the assassination of the Russian president, Alexander Kerensky. Due to the assassination, Russia has fallen into domestic chaos and will thus not be interested nor capable of intervening in domestic Mongolian politics. Roman von Ergen Sternberg understands that this is a right time to make Mongolia as great as it once was, but he needs a skilled second in command to succeed. Will he choose his loyal general from the Asiatic Cavalry Division, Boris Rikukin, or Rizukin, or will the current head of the government, the Mongolian aristocrat, Togs Ochen Namasrin, to further consolidate his popularity with the Mongol people? Finally, the religious leader, the 7th Chankya Kutuku, could be chosen to guarantee Ergin's divine status and prove his direct reincarnation as the war god. Well, we're going Mongol, so let's put the holy man in charge. Stability? Nah, this is Mongolia. We don't need that. A charge against Gadamerin. Yes, this is the point that decides everything for what we're going to be doing for our political path. A point in which, as we are fighting for control of the steppes, we need to then decide what happens to the Baron. A charge against Gadamerin. The sun rose high across the eastern steppe as yet another unruly and chaos-filled day began anew to test the bloody Baron and his struggling regime. If it wasn't putting down the week's 10th marauding bandit horde, it was once again doing battle with the infamous Gadamerin and his radical separatists. No day offered rest or respite for the Mad Baron and has begun to take its toll. Now, Ergen Sternberg has never been a fully stable man, and the constant state of war his mind swirls in, coupled with the rigors of running a state as backwards as Mongolia, have truly begun to wear away the aging warlord's remaining sanity and health. However, nothing like a good fight returns the vigor and desire for conquest and power to the bloody Baron's veins, and fate would just have it that another fight was brewing on the horizon. To the east, the famed Gadamerin, the rebel leader and Mongolian nationalist revolutionary, and his forces have been seen amassing once more, poised to strike into the heartlands of Mongolia yet again and wreak havoc on the Baron's domain. Never shying from a fight, Baron Ergen Sternberg has rallied his forces of Russian exiles and hired mercenaries and tribals to ride to meet this Luyada as his hobbled-together militias on the field of battle. After marching towards each other for a full day and night, the two forces met and began their clash on the grasslands outside the village of Madurku, with the riders of the Mad Baron and Gadamerin viciously greeting each other with bow and saber. In a thunderous crash of steel on steel and beast, the writhing masses of these rallied cavalry hordes slammed into one another with the force of a freight train, causing sparks to dance off swords and armor as red mist filled the air, turning the sky as red as the bloody soil beneath them. After hours of struggle and horrific slaughter, the dust began to settle as a calm quiet swept across the once raging battlefield. Though a pyrrhic conflict for both sides, a clear but bloodied and bruised victor is left standing, but who? Among the three options, either being cut down, having Gadamerin flee the maelstrom and barely ride off, we get Ergen Sternberg was struck by a stray arrow but managed to reach his horse to escape to Urga. The Mad Baron grows madder, perhaps mad enough, to forge a new empire. A Baron dies, but a Khan is reborn. Urga is in chaos, the Baron is in a coma, and our soul of Mongolia knows what will happen next as the various forces and factions within our Khanate now seek to tear everything that Ergen Sternberg and the bogged Khan have worked to achieve. In a yurt at the center of the city, the Mad Baron now lies unconscious, writhing in agony and muttering broken gibberish as a heavy fever claims his body, and delirium and delusion seize his mind. As the world rages around him, Ergen Sternberg was locked away in the vault of his own mind, oblivious to the numerous aides and attendants that now worked without end to try and revive their dying patriarch. Roman's mind was alight with fantastical visions and near prophetic glimpses of pure nirvana, his very psyche and soul reaching out into the cosmic expanse and seemingly communing with the very essence of the universe itself, though it is just as likely that these visions have less to do with divine intervention and more to do with the last of the Baron's functioning brain matter slowly suffocating and decaying away. As the voices ceased and the cacophony that stormed within his mind finally subsided, in an instant, sudden instant, the eyes of the Khan bolted open once more with life. Now, bloodshot and wild-eyed like never before, without hesitation or warning, the Khan let out a primordial scream that shook the heavens, and nearly deafened those of the yurt with him who were tending to his wounds, before finally uttering one but complete phrase: "The world shall tremble in fear, for now I am become Makala, the destroyer of worlds." You don't look good there, buddy. But the world's about to not look good either. The Russians aren't watching. Only a few days have passed since the assassination of Kerensky, and Russia is still trying to regroup and reorganize. They would be too busy on their own affairs to notice much if we laid the groundwork for reclaiming our proper lands from our Chinese neighbors. Yeah, the Chinese be damned. Unification for all Mongolians. With that, my friends, we have been given a new secret path to establish the Khan of Khans and reclaim the spirit of Genghis Khan and destroy the entire world. There are literally so many different things that we can do with this now, but first things first, we're going to need to get some things out of the way. God of War, put ourselves on war economy, because if we're going to be a Mongol horde, that means we're going to need military equipment fast. We cannot have the luxury of letting our economy trundle along peacefully. We are a people at war, and our industrial sector must be made aware of this. All must serve the horde. With our claims declared against the Muslims of the south, the tension between the Mongolic and our state has risen to an untenable level and is now ready to evolve into an all-out war at a moment's notice. As such, it has been deemed necessary that the army be mobilized in preparation for the possible war. We hope that these preparations will be enough when the time comes for Mongolia to show its might once again. Also, immediately from the get-go, decisive battle doctrine, get ourselves some ticking army experience. We need that as soon as possible. Status of Manlibatar Dumders, blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay, so this is where we're going to be getting a series of decisions to actually save a number of the people that are under us, because we actually have quite a number of different field marshals and other people that could potentially be a threat in the future, theoretically, to us, but also, more importantly, we're going to need as many generals as we can get, and I don't care how untrustworthy people are, the general, the Khan, needs all men to serve. Assassination attempt on Ergen Sternberg while riding his horse in a parade through Urga. A sudden noise deafened the crowds. A shot that echoed through the city that missed Baron Ergen by 2 inches. The assassin, a 23-year-old man, was shot almost immediately. Ergen ordered the marching army to fire on the crowd, frenzied by the attempt on his life. The crowd dispersed in panic as civilians, or possible man agents, were killed by Ergen's troops. After the city had calmed down, the assassin was identified as a member of the Mongol Arden Nam. However, many peasants in Urga claim this to be fabricated by our government. Well, it's okay, because at least the Baron survived. As for our next bit of 150 political power, there's actually something new that I like here they put in Kaiser Redux, or at least I'm not sure if this is only part of it here. New schools for a military high command that you can overall add to your army. You have the Northern School, which increases infantry attack and artillery attack and defense, which is nice. Resilience and requisition, it's something to go and help things when it comes to being stuck in a location, but I mean, it's not really all that good. But mass and mobility, which increases our speed by 5% and reduces our organization loss. Now that I like. You're going to see as time goes on just how much we stack here. Power struggle in the Ma clique. For many years, the Ma clique has been led by the family elder Ma Fuzheng. In the clique, he was seen as a pillar of stability who would stop any power struggle occurring between the very divided Ma families. Many in China even see him as the stabilizer of the Northwest, ending Tibetan and our own aggression into Chinese soil. However, news has just reached us that Ma Fuzheng has passed away. Currently, he has been replaced by Ma Lin, but another of Ma Bufeng, and Ma Lin are already embroiled in a power struggle. This could be the perfect opportunity to take advantage of the Ma clique's position. Wait, Bulengeder forces gather on the Unkala border. Mongolian General Bulender has generally stayed uninvolved with the power struggle happening in Urga. For years, he has continued to live in Inner Mongolia, raiding Chinese shipments through the region. Now, I've just received reports that Bulender has gathered a large force on the border with Ma clique, likely to do some border raids. Nice! Do we want to let him raid? Do we want to let him do it? Do it! A matter of princes. The various princes, nobles, and aristocrats of Mongolian society have long been influenced and controlled the political stage of the steppe. With the ascension of the Black Baron Roman of Ergen Sternberg to the position of regent to the Khan and his de facto control over the nation's very aspect, a final stance must be taken to deal with the ever mind-meddling and annoying ambitious men of Mongolia's high society. We could either bribe them, ignore them, or just kill all of them. Well, look, if we're actually reclaiming the glory of Genghis Khan, that means probably dividing plunder. We will do that. The kind thing, if you will. Okay, after founding the Urga Arms Factory, next step after that, develop Western Mongolia, because we just need more civilian military factories. We're going to do every single possible thing that we can do to beef up our military first. We have taken Unklab after Buyangala began to move towards Guisi to take on Ulankab. He was met with surprisingly little resistance from the Ma clique, though he had to fight some small battles with border troops and had to fight through the Guisi garrison. For now, it seems the Ma clique have retreated from Unkab. Finally, Mongolian families have been reunited and Mongolian rule in the region has been restored. All right, we still need a lot more guns, so let's see. Next step after that, we're going to do improve Urga roads, expand the Trans-Mongolian railroad here. We're going to develop ourselves before it is that we focus on war, because, you know, we may be mad, but we're not crazy. Come on. Ogvan Dorzeev, patronized by Ungern, and a strange friend of the 13th Dalai Lama, Ogvan Dorzeev, has arrived in Urga to meet with Ungern. Ogva has presented Ungern with a Kalachakra Tantra, reportedly written by the late 13th Dalai Lama, proclaiming the deceased Tsar Nicholas as the Arya Tara, the White Tara. This evidence appears to Ungern as validation of his monarchistic beliefs, and the two have struck up a strong friendship. Although Angvan's influence has been reduced by the regency, this friendship will undoubtedly bring Ungern's regime closer to the Buddhist theologians. Wonderful! The Tsar's power is legendary. Alright, with a solid military building up amongst us now, I think it's at this point that we can finally start to look to expand. Mongol minority in Jibei. The lands of Jibei and Xinjiang contain many enclaves or people, both small rural villages and roving bands of tribesmen. However, spurred on by the chaos of the New Age, debased and fanatic nationalists have started inciting violence against our people, driving them from their homes and slaughtering their kin. We cannot stand idly by and watch our Mongolian brethren be dominated by these southern warlords again. No. Yeah, with that, we are now at war with the Ma clique, and also I forgot the Xinjiang clique. Oh, crap, well, we have nothing on the border here. Okay, that could be a problem, but it's fine, because the Ma clique has basically no troops, which means we can literally just rush the border here. Quick, attack and surround them. We need to go ahead and cut off as much of them as we can. Our forces, oh my god, they already move so incredibly fast. Look at this. As a base speed bonus from the very get-go, Scourge of the Steppes, 15%. Roman von Urgen Sternberg also gives 10%. Southern School plus 5%, and Army-focused maneuver. That means we have a whopping plus 35% to our speed from the get-go. Quick, just move in as soon as possible. We should be able to take Xinjiang. Oh crap, they put troops in the capital. Okay, there's the collapse of the Ma clique. There's the Kumbul Khanate. And along with that, we can get our first doctrine. Now, in many cases, if we want our troops to be more powerful, you go with superior firepower, or plan with the grand battle plan, or in the case of an actual Mongol horde, mass assault is actually kind of decent in that regard. I mean, look at this. Pocket defense, mounted infantry, max speed plus 15%. See, that is really good. Whereas, if we go over here to mobile warfare increases our breakthrough by 20% for mounted infantry. It also increases base division speed by 10%, which is awesome. All infantry get more organization, which is great for this. And as time goes on and we actually get more factories, that means we can produce some light armor, which means Blitzkrieg will actually do something as we can give our cavalry armor. In comparison, reduced consumption, faster speed for our cavalry, which, don't get me wrong, this is all really nice. I just really think that this could be better. Because with that, the Xinjiang clique falls, and yeah, we can start to take even more of that territory. Boom. Goodbye to you. After great fighting, we have at last subdued the Western warlords. There is much to reward ourselves and soldiers here, including captured enemy supplies. How should the new populace as well as these resources be dealt with? Loot the land and salt the earth. They shall be incorporated peacefully. Okay, this gives me core on everything, because I've killed off all the population inside, whereas this just gives me claims on a few. No, Mongol hordes, loot the land, salt the earth, take everything. With that, my friends, the Mongol Khanate has grown. Now that the tribes of the Mongolian people have been united under the banner of a singular leader once again, shall our land seal itself from the world to protect our precious tradition and people, or shall we, like the great Temujin, lead our great and mighty host to trample the decadent and petty regimes of East and West? Wait, what's this? Send ultimatum to East Turkestan? Buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna make you disappear. Treaty of friendship with Transbaikala. Our dear friend Atamad Semov, leader of Transbaikala, has approached us with a treaty to request a sign for friendship. This will allow us to have closer ties. No. Because a new Mongolian empire. Now that our cowardly enemies are defeated, nobody can stop our Khan from restoring the past glory of Mongolia. With most of Central Asia in his hands, Ungern Khan rules all Mongolic peoples, and everyone living in Yurt swears allegiance to him alone. A man beyond the capabilities of other mortals, Ungern is thought by many Mongolians as an avatar of the god of war, or, in the very least, as reincarnation of the great Genghis Khan. And with his newest victories, those doubting these claims have been reduced to a mere handful. Fueled by the sweet fruits of victory, Ungern Khan has convened a grand assembly in Urga to manifest the triumph of Mongolia's recent conquests. The question, however, remains whether or not the Mad Baron will satisfy himself with the establishment of a greater Mongolia, or take his faithful tribal force and his hardened savage division further on the path of ambition, madness, and glory. Mongolia will rise again under Ungern Khan. Yes! Mongolian Empire! In a bold but not surprising move, Sternberg, under the guise of a reincarnated Genghis Khan, took to his theatrical stage atop his fortified residence. Amongst piles of ancient weaponry and armor he stood, donned in golden plate, possessing a battle-hardened scar across the right side of his face. The once laughable, eccentric, now possessed an aura of intimidating energy. Addressing the gathering crowds, he declared that the Mongol Empire shall rise once more, and with its rise will come a new age of war and conquest. Hail to the Horde. Quick, kill off the Turks. Look at how fast these guys move here at this point. Cavalry, my cavalry is moving at a rate of 8.89 kilometers an hour. Holy crap. Just like that, Turkestan, gone, boom. Our cavalry is moving faster than most tank divisions will move through pretty much any terrain. Oh god, Alashorda is killing the Russians. They're going for it. Now, to finish off Godinmira. Bringing down the peasant warlord, yes. Burn the bridges, destroy Godinmira. Finish everything. Sternberg declares himself the reincarnation of Genghis Khan. Roman von Eugen Sternberg has proven himself to be the savior of Mongolia, securing its defiant sovereignty amongst the surrounding conflicts in Russia and China. The Mad Baron has been personally blessed by the Bogd Khan, proving his actions ascended beyond the majority of mortals. Sternberg is thought by many Mongolians to be the avatar of the god of war, and by his most loyal supporters the reincarnation of the great Genghis Khan. His victories over his opposition have only further solidified these beliefs. Now in a position of supreme power, the Mad Baron once again has sent shockwaves across the region. Addressing the masses from the fortified capital of Urga, Sternberg has declared that he is indeed the reincarnation of Genghis Khan, proclaiming himself as spiritual continuation of the immortal emperor of all Mongols. Oh dear God. We are now the Great Mongol Empire. Look at that flag. Look at this man. I love this. I love the art that goes into this. Along with that, hey, guess what? Guess what? More bonuses. Horsemen of the Apocalypse, which grants division speed plus 10%. More cavalry attack and defense. Don't mind if I do. The Mongol horde rides once more. I love this. I love this path so much. It's so stupid. It's so great. The Blue Deal. After recent complaints, the Khan has ridden out once again to attempt to pacify the warlord Jalama, who's grown unpopular with the people of Kovd. Sternberg, along with his elite Russian guard, entered the camp of Jalama while being tracked with beady eyes of the Lama's battle-hardened forces and made their way towards the central yurt. There, the Lama sat playing cards with his generals, old and wise, yet completely drunk and surrounded by a horde of plunder and weapons. One such weapon in the Jalama's illustrious collection was a Russian Fedorov, a weapon our Khan had once also used in a shared struggle with Jalama. As the Khan began to speak, he was swiftly shushed and pushed back by Jalama's guard, not wanting their game to be disturbed or their master to be angered and roused from his drunken stupor. In direct response, the Keshik drew their weapons and awaited his orders. The Khan thought to himself for a moment. He had two options. He could either strike this arrogant fool down where he sat right now, ending his reign of terror and securing the city of Kovd for ourselves. However, none can deny that despite his eccentricities and barbarism, Jalama is a great warrior and would serve the state well. After thinking for a brief moment, the Khan stepped forward and made his call, which hurts my stability, but you know what? I get more generals, and that's exactly what I want. Because when I say I'm going to have hordes, it's going to be hordes. Next up, the God of War. The enemies of Mongolia lay slain across the battlefield. The enemies within Mongolia are held prisoner to the all-powerful Sternberg regime. For all those who dare question his rule of law, they shall meet a deadly end by the behest of his loyal divine warriors. His fury for the godless heretics across the land has no limit. He is the avatar of Daichi Tengri, the God of War. Which gets me a research slot, because, you know, nothing says, hey, let's study things like killing. Oh, let's say the fall of Beijing. Oh, things are burning down here. But either way, with that, okay, we have, can I do the spirit? No, I can't do the spirit of Genghis Khan. Why? I need the Alashorda, Khanate of Turkestan, Khanate of Kolkend, the Fengteng government, and Khiva, all owned by me. We have options here. How about we go and finish that off then? Turkestan remains free of our control, and the wealthy lands beyond it remain a distant dream. This shall not do. Now, hold on, wait a minute. Turkestan Khanate is at war. I guess they defeated the Alash? Okay, they're no longer a thing, but they're at war with the Russians, and... oh god, their military must be tiny in comparison here. Alright, do we want to try to take them out here next, or do we want to go and try to go after Tibet? I can't get the spirit of Genghis Khan until I own all of that. So, let's go ahead and go after him then. Uh-oh. Oh, no. I can't have them fall that quickly, please. No. Quick. They're falling, they're collapsing, declare war, go. Go. Quick, try and take as many of these cities as I can. I cannot let the Russians take more of this territory. I swear to God, please. All right, there we go, quickly, surround the troops. They collapsed. Wait, they collapsed? No, they collapsed to the Russians. Yes, please. There we go. Push. Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing. I do not care how much manpower we run out of. It does not matter to me. All right, there we go. We took Kabul. Now, quick, hold these troops in place. We just need to move as quickly as possible. There we go. There is Afghanistan. That everything falls, actually. Okay, so here's the problem. I don't need Afghanistan to be... I'm fine with giving it up, but I have to take all of Turkestan. Like, I need this territory. I can sort of kind of let the Turks have Afghanistan. That doesn't matter, but I have to take the Turkic lands. I'll take Jalabad, though. But I can't. I don't have enough to take Kabul. I stole everything, but I can't take Kabul. Damn. Alma-Ata has fallen once again. Loot the land, salt the earth, take everything. Oh my god, I can't claim the thing because Russia owns all this shit. Oh, that's gonna be so annoying when I actually have to fight them. Oh dear god, I hate that. I hate it. 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 Okay, I can't get course on any of this stuff because of that. That's lovely. So yeah, I just have to militarily occupy everything, which is gonna hurt all of my war support until I can actually figure this out. Awesome. You know what? That means consolidating our hold on China then. We're gonna get that population one way or another. Tibet, how you doing there, buddy? Oh, don't look so sad, Miss. You're not Tibetan. Nicholas Roerich, raised by the aristocratic Roerich family of St. Petersburg, Nicholas expressed interest about the aesthetic and spiritual side of socialist... What? Hold on. It is a totalist, communist, not Tibetan Tibet. Is it true that Lenin was not against Buddhism? What? Genuinely, this sounds hilarious. But I don't want it to exist anymore. No, we are the only sovereign power here. Yeah, just like that, Tibet collapses. Really, nothing to really deal with here. Annexation of Tibet? Yeah, loot everything. It's the only viable option. Elastic defense, mounted infantry, max speed, plus 15%. Oh boy. Wait a minute, I just realized, Japan. Japan is at war with all of China. Hold up. That's gonna distract them. All right, we are going to do that next, but first off, the fate of China. All right, so that settles it. We're doing fate of China next then, but prior to that, we're gonna take out Iran. Goodbye. All right, quick, we have broken through. Let's go ahead and take out Tehran, just like that. Quick, oh my god, this cavalry is so fast. How fast are they even moving through this? Still, this is insane. We just can't be stopped. They're so fast. Yeah, with that, Iran falls. Boom, we take everything there. That is done. No longer have to deal with that. And that is over here. Go ahead and liberate them as a puppet because we're going to be restoring the Ilkhanate as it is, so we don't really need to worry about that necessarily so much. And yeah, that gives us fate of China, but also I realize I am deeply in debt with guns, and I probably cannot just attack just yet. I need to move all my forces over because this took longer than I established. So first things first, reestablish the Ilkhanate. Russia just declared war on the Ottomans! That is normally not something we see. Here, we're going to continue to train up our forces. We need to build up a little bit more time. I just want to make sure that these soldiers are fully trained before it is that we launch an attack. Oh, looks like Japan is making some moves, but I do not have the forces yet to be able to do this. I'm trying to build up as big of an army as I can, but it takes so much time. I need so much more industry to produce the manpower that I need to be able to actually take on China. Wait, Japan, why would you do this to me? What did I do to you? What did I do? Why? What? They're declaring war on everybody. Okay, well, you know what? It's time for the Khan's cavalry. We are going to increase our attack by a further 10%. Let's just keep this going. Oh god, that is the fall of Shenyang. Whoa, okay. All right. The Japanese are about to take Beijing. All right, at this point, what we're just going to do is we're going to focus all of our forces down to the south, and we're going to try and take these guys out piece by piece, because otherwise, I'm not going to be able to do anything. After the Khan's cavalry, we can then choose between adopting more modernized things, motorizing, utilizing trucks, which actually gives us some research bonuses for armor, but it doesn't give us anything except for being able to produce things cheaper. That's pretty nice, but how about more speed, more organization, more recovery, and an elite cavalry force that could dominate the stars? Yep, wartime, baby. China, you're mine. All right, let's just try and sweep through and take these out piece by piece. I know that I won't be able to, push through a lot of these with my meager forces, but we can concentrate all of our damage down in one spot and then wipe them out from there. There we go, quickly move on through before they can respond, and we'll just wipe him out from here. The Khan's bodyguard, yes, send these men down. Recruit more men to it, expand the glory. There we go. Move on through. Oh my god, my cavalry are like tanks. They're like really spongy tanks. They just move so goddamn quick. Airspeed. Oh my god, no, I forgot about air power. There we go. There is Chengdu. And quick, let's go take out the capital now. Yes! Okay, there we go. There is one down. The Sichuan click. That gives me a bunch of weapons and everything else that I can work with. Beautiful. I also have a ton of guns now, which means even more men for the Horde. All right, first things first, I'm not going to be able to build an air force very quickly, so we're going to need a bunch of anti-air, just as much as we can possibly get. Oh, they're about to fall. Okay, hold on. We can probably sneak an attack in here. Yes. If I can knock out another entity, that'll reduce the opponents that I have to fight. Oh, wait, no, they already collapsed. That's why this whole thing actually went so much faster. Okay, never mind then. There we go. Go ahead and push through to Xi'an. Once we take that, that means that we're a little bit closer. Not by much. Ah, and there goes Europe falling apart then. There we go. Move on in. We are steadily making progress, though this is still going to take a goddamn while. Russian boots. Okay, now the Russians are going to war with Germany. Great. I have got to finish this faster. Oh, there's the fall of the Qing Imperial Authority. Okay, that one is gone, which, oh dear god, that means we just trapped all these forces. Ooh. The funny thing is, our cavalry moves so fast, like faster than literal trucks, to the point that we are actually overrunning troops as we move past them, meaning that we are just blitzing through basically everything. With that, the path is wide open. We can go ahead and take out the capital, and let's just sweep on through basically everything here in rapid order. Then we'll be able to focus on the Japanese. Yep, there is the Hunan click. They are gone. All right, we have fully broken through, which means, my friends, it is time to go ahead and seize the day. Take every possible thing we can. There we go. There's the Guangzhou's People Government. That one is knocked out as well. And yeah, now at this point, we're pretty much just cleaning up. In fact, if I just moved to basically rush the capital, I'm sure that it'll be fine. And there's the Yunnan click. Okay, how many of these guys? I've literally just taken over everything. There we go. Last pockets of resistance are being wiped out. Beautiful. With that, my friends, that completes our research slot here that we had to push down here for our military gamble, and now it is that we can focus even more on cavalry. Conscript the tribesmen, which grants recruitable population 2. I'm already in the millions. I get 1.294% of my non-core population. Holy shit. I'm already at 13.65. I don't technically need this, but I'm going to get even more. So sure, let's focus on new arms testing and whatnot first. It's actually kind of crazy. Since Japan is at war with Germany as well, they haven't been able to recruit the troops because I'm assuming they have to focus on Navy. And simultaneously, they're probably launching little invasions elsewhere, which means that there's nothing really on this entire side. So as soon as I have all these forces lined up here, at this point, nothing can stop the Mongol hordes. Like, dear God, we just blitz through everything at this point. With that, my friends, we have the collapse of the National Revolutionary Government, and China is eradicated. And Japan, you get nothing. Every throne needs her emperor. With the conquest of the Middle Kingdom proving complete and victorious, we must now choose what to do with these lands. To control this vast swath of territory ourselves would likely prove to be disastrous for our regime, and the rule of Genghis Khan II. China needs a monarch to serve as its unifying figure in these certain times, for only someone ordained by the heavens above can hope to rule this famously unstable and unruly swath of land. No. It is our conquest. It is our war won right. Yes. Oh my god, we are blitzing through. We are just blitzing right through. Eradicate them. Wipe them out. Come on. Do not let a single one of them escape. Oh my god, modernized methods of arm production. We're getting even more. We're going to have to do some math here by the end, because I think that they added even more bonuses. Oh my god, look at how fast these horses move. Really? Really, Japan? You're going to try another invasion when all of this is happening? Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out for you, buddies. Yeah, this is like, all Japanese forces on the mainland completely wiped out, which has reduced their numbers to 36. Oh my god. Yeah, they're not going to resist. They're not going to be able to do anything. I can't believe you thought this would work again. Your forces are gone. Russia, you seem a little bit distracted here. Ukraine is kind of having a field day with you. So even though I could increase my power even more over on this side, which, oh god, that logistics is actually pretty nice. I could now ride upon the lands of the Rus. I could do this. I could actually do this, but before I do any of that, I do realize I am actually going to need to make sure that I get cores on things. Message from the Burma. What do you mean you canceled your non-aggression pact? When did I have a non-aggression pact with you? Oh, you look sad. Sorry, buddy. We are now the Great Yuan Dynasty. Oh, beautiful. Can I deal with warlords now, or do I get cores? I can claim the German colonies. I can destroy the legation cities. Oh, let's see. Are they supported by anyone? I think yep, they're guaranteed by a lot of people. Meaning if I actually declared on them, I would be conquering everything. So I think at this point then we could ride upon the lands of the Rus. But I don't think we're going to do that quite yet. How well are the Russians doing exactly? They're not doing great. Eventually they will get knocked out. Meaning it's probably in my best interest to go ahead and launch a war. Here, we'll do two focuses first. First, logistics initiative, because that's going to reduce supply consumption. Oh my god, you're just going to keep on trying this crap now, aren't you? And after logistics initiative, then, now we can go over here and ride upon the lands of the Rus. As a true trial of our mighty Baron's empire, we must look to his old homeland, once a shining bastion under Tsardom, now infested with revolutionaries, demagogues, and debased shadows of old values, gorging themselves like maggots on its carcasses. As our ancestors once did, the Khan shall lead the Mongol people across the steppe to the very heart of the Rus, to slay the Great Bear. Which actually, wait, I realize Transformer Republic is not supported by anything. So even though I have this war goal, I can't do this against Russia. We are gonna have to go after the Republic here first. Hello, Republic. Goodbye, Republic. Oh my god, how many men are the Japanese going to recruit? They keep on recruiting men and then like throwing them right at me. Yeah, Germany, there really was no stopping this at this point. This is, wow, this is incredibly sad. Holy crap, I actually forgot the first thing here that I wasn't even recording this in the first place. Dear God. Oh my lord, this is so broken. This is so broken. The collapse of the Reichspakt in 1941. Okay, you need to understand as to how incredibly easy this is here in the first place. Dear lord. So if you look at the stats here on this in the first place, right, you go and check all this out, we have a plus, like, 70% bonus to attack for all of our units, right? And the reason why, in the first place, is because if you go and do the math, and you count up every single bonus we have for cavalry, I mean, we're talking, what, there is Sternberg himself, which is a cavalry attack plus 5%, you have him again, which is cavalry, or division speed plus 10%, and division attack plus 10%, another 10% attack here, another 12% attack and defense here, and you just add in all the single bonuses that you get, and we're talking plus 72% and like plus 50 or 60 something percent defense for cavalry. Once it is that you go in and add maybe just a little bit of armor here with some light tanks that can move with, you know, some speed, and you are talking divisions that, like, they cannot be stopped. They just blitz through every single thing that they touch. And like that, it's over. Fall of Paris, it's done. There you have it. The war is over. Everything is done. I'm technically speaking, I'm still at war with Japan. And yeah, I stole the entirety of the Navy from Germany, which means I could go and just finish off Japan real quick and stop this. But at this point, I think I'm pretty sure that I've demonstrated just how incredibly broken this is. The Mongol Empire, the Mad Baron run is genuinely one of the greatest paths in this entire game. It's like, it's so fun. Every single step of the way is actually a challenge. Until you get to the end. Eventually, once it is that you get big enough, it's more of a micromanaging hell while you try to balance every single thing around you, because you have infinite manpower and industry at that point, which means it literally doesn't matter. The only thing that you actually lack is stability, among all things. So it's so much fun to play. I truly love this path, and I think that we're going to go ahead and end things here today. As I said from the very beginning of my video here, my friends, make sure if you want to go on an adventure with me, go and sign up for my Mongolia trip. Who knows, maybe we'll fall into a horribly sick coma, wake up, and then try to take over the world. Either way, my friends, I will see you all here next time. Thank you so much for watching, and we will do a different Mongolia path when it is that we get to the Kaiser Redux A to Z, like, properly. We're going to do a different one and see how that plays out. Thank you all for watching, my friends. See you next time. Goodbye, guys.